Alrighty here, buddy. So we're gonna double check. Did you cut these down to your final size? I believe it should have been like 21 and 5/8. Yes. 27 and 5/8. Yes. All right. So we're all cut down to our final size. And if we take a look at our pattern right here, what it shows us doing is half lapping these frames. So the way that they're going to go together is we're going to chip out a section out of the bottom of one, and we're going to chip out a section out of the top of the other. And if we take a look at our, what's it called here, our pamphlet or our instruction manual, it shows that the two side pieces are going to cover the top and bottom piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick out our prettiest sides of our two side pieces, and we're going to pick out our prettiest sides of our top and bottom piece. So let's take a look and see what you have right here. Okay? The board here's got a pretty nasty wobble to it. Hopefully you'll get that out. So let's take a look at this right here. Right? Do you like this side here, or do you like this side here? Okay? So, and sometimes it's best to compare them next to one another because the pieces can look different. Do you like this side here, or do you like this side here? Okay, so do I. Let's take a look at these. Do you like this side here, or do you like this side here?
The other one.
Do you like this side here, or do you like this side here?
I like this one.
So, here's how it's going to go together. Alright, our tops are going to overlap our bottoms, okay? So it goes like this. You understand this? So when this actually goes together, it's going to be like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mark out where we're going to chip, okay? That's super important too. And we know that we're going to chip the tops of our top and bottom. So I marked here, I marked here. Now, which side am I going to mark on these two? You know? Am I going to mark up here?
Yeah.
Or am I going to mark down here?
Where you're gonna mark there and down there, top and bottom.
No. So I'm going to chip. I'm going to chip out of the top of this, and I'm going to chip out of the bottom of this. And I'll show you what it'll do here in a minute.
The bottom and that.
So what it's going to do is it's going to go together like this. Ready? They're going to lap like this. So I need to take off the bottom of my top one, and I need to take out of the top of my bottom one. You understand that?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at this down here. I'm going to chip out here. I'm going to chip out here. I'm going to chip out of here. I'm going to chip out of here. Okay. Now, these boards are 3/4 of an inch thick, which means that we want to take half out of this one and half out of this one. Do you know what half of 3/4 is? How do we find the center of a fraction? What's the trick I always tell you guys? Find the center or half point of a fraction. What do you do?
Adam.
No. Guys, what do you do to find the center of a fraction? Who remembers? That's it. Double the denominator. Okay? So all you have to do is double the denominator, and the denominator is the bottom one.
So
Right?
8.
Yes, correct. So it's 3/8. So we're going to chip out 3/8. Now, I happen to already have this set up for 3/8 because the period before this, we ran them through. What we do is we take a test piece and we run a couple through and we fine tune the blade from there. We're going to hope that we can get it as close as possible so that we have to do the minimum amount of sanding later on. And let's go over how to do that. So I'm going to take all of my pieces and I'm going to put them over here. Now, on one of your pieces, it had a pretty nasty bow to it. You see that one right there?
Yeah.
So I'm going to help you with this one when we do this one because this one's going to give us a little bit of trouble. Take these over here and put over here. Now, we're going to go over how to chip this out. First things first, I want to make sure this is square. I always bring it back and I test it against my table here. Looks good. When I chip this out, I happen to have this set up right now so that it's the width of this. All right. And we're going to chip our first one here first on each one. And then we'll set our fence over. But I'm going to show you something for the sake of this video. So we're going to put this over here. When we do this, we're going to go slow so that we don't break out the back of our project. Punch it. Chipped out now for that. Now I'm going to run it through again because it's a lot of material to take out, so sometimes you have to run it through 2 times just to get that last little bit. Now we would do the same thing over here. I'm going to grab another one of yours. X goes down. What am I going to do next? Run through again. Right. Now, we're going to do this particular step right here on this side here, and then we're going to do it on this side here. We did it on this side here. We're doing this side here. We're going to do all of those, and then we're going to set our fence over. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to take a little bit out of this one here and a little bit out of this one here and show you how they fit together so it makes a little bit of sense, okay? We're going to run through 2 sides. All right, let's see how they fit together. So this is my side piece, this is my bottom piece. So they should fit together just like this right here. And we want these to be as close to good and flush as possible. These here feel really, really close. I think if we ran them through once more, see how it's really close on that one there and this one here? Let's check it once more. Maybe I didn't press quite hard enough. Double check that real quick. Oh, yeah. Open out. How that fits. Good at, huh? Feel that? That's perfect right there. I don't know if we can see that in the camera view or not, but that's a perfectly flush fit. And even if it's off by just the smidgenest of a little bit, we can blend that in, but we want this to be as close as possible. And that'll be a nice tight joint right there. All right, we'll be able to get this thing pressed down in really good and tight. And this is really gonna make the project strong, and it's also gonna look really sharp as well. So listen, it's gonna take you a few minutes, but what you are going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to do the first lap on each one, and then I'll reset that fence over so that you don't have to do it the way I did it. You'll just run it through the same way, okay? Nice and tight against the fence. So we're gonna stop the video here. We might cut in a little bit to show you that actual step, but other than that, you're looking pretty darn good. All right, you got all your primary ones done, right? Yep. So now what we're gonna do is set this bad boy here up so we can chip out some of this. I'm gonna show you how we set that up. So, I wanted the fence to be just into the blade a little bit. And now we do it the same way. See how tight over here? Beautiful. See that? Beautiful half lap. All right, you can rest, right, buddy? Nice job. Do that to the rest. All right, so Carter, you went ahead. You got all these. We did double check some. We did have to run a couple through, just a little bit. Remember, we just want these things to be super close. It is okay if you do need to run them through from time to time. Like this one here feels pretty good, but it looks like we might be able to take a smidge more out. This one over here definitely feels good. And a lot of times you can hear it when you do it as well. Yeah, perfect. And a lot of times it's just that little sliver. Now, what we might actually do for some of them is we might take a block sander and we might just sand this like 5 strokes with some 120 just to take that little bit of that roughness off so that it goes. I mean, we're talking less than a hair by these things are off, all right? So we just want the best feel going into it so that we can do the minimum amount of blending. It feels really good. It looks really sharp. In the next video, we're gonna go over just basically how to touch these things up a smidge and put them together. But what's the one thing that you're definitely gonna wanna do to these things here before we do put it together? We do wanna sand it, right? Like all this stuff here, we wanna sand really good. So we're getting a nice block sander, and we're gonna block sand this here, and we're gonna block sand this here, right? Don't worry about anything else, just get these sections here really nice. Since this is oak, we will go to 150 eventually, but for right now, hit them with some 120, get them nice and crisp and clean, we'll be in great shape. Catch you next time.